Welcome to Saturday Night Lights podcast, your home for college football. I'm Alec, joined by again Adam for the second week in a row. Bradley will be back next week. Let's dive right in. And we today are going to, this is basically a college football roundtable where we cover different topics in college football, whether it be talking about the coaches that have been fired or the newest coach at Virginia Tech, which, as a supporter of Virginia Tech, I really like. And our first topic is going to be talking about these head coaches that have either gotten fired or ones we think may get canned. So let's start with I don't want to say so called elephant in the room, but let's start with Virginia Tech and hiring James Franklin. What would you give this grade wise?
I say somewhere between a C and a B. It's hard to say off the rip. I wouldn't say it was. I don't think it's a home run, but it could be. It could be anywhere from a home run to a double to grounding out weekly to first, because it's such an unknown quantity. You know, can he recruit? Who's he gonna? Who's his offensive coordinator? Who's his defensive coordinator? Who's his special teams coordinator? Who's the AD? What kind of kids are gonna come to Virginia Tech now that may have looked at, Pitt, Boston College, Michigan, Ohio State,
Well, here's the thing. We'll get into Boston College in a second because I think we could both agree that their head coach should be
Billy O.
Yeah, he should be out
Throw him out
he
the.
should he should be out the door by now. But
But give him his
I'm
walking
with
paper.
you. Yeah, I agree with you. I give this probably a B plus.
Yeah.
If I'm a Virginia Tech fan, I'm running through a wall. I like James Franklin at Penn State. It was just they could never get over the hump and beat Ohio State.
Or
I think
Oregon or
that,
Michigan or win a bowl
yeah,
game, win a playoff game. So
but I think with this hire at Virginia Tech, and I've already heard people saying, "Oh, Virginia Tech fans, you should be really happy about this. Get ready to run the ACC. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes a little bit." Yes, this is a good hire, but you still got to remember, you're still in the same conference as Clemson, Virginia, Pitt, Wake Forest, who's on the
come up.
come up, Cal, Stanford, who's eventually going to be on the come up. Maybe if they get the right coach,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's Frank Reich. Neither of us know. That's
No,
another
no.
tip we're going to talk about in a little bit. But that leads us into the next topic, and that is talking about Bill O'Brien at Boston College. And I think Adam's already alluded to it that he should have got his walking papers
On the tarmac last week.
And I agree. He wasn't
That was
a
pathetic.
bad offense coordinator at Ohio State, but he is
He's a great coordinator.
He's a great coordinator. He has proven time and again that he cannot be a head coach.
Didn't work in Houston.
Nope, it didn't work at he wasn't ever at Temple, was he?
Was he at Temple?
No, I'm thinking of who am I thinking of? There was a Temple. No, it wasn't. Rule. Matt Rule was at Temple.
Oh yeah, that's right. Before he went to
The Panthers.
Carolina. Yeah. No. Billy O. He coached.
He should have got his papers on the tarmac. That was pathetic.
Oh, it was awful. I watched.
I feel bad for those kids.
For the Boston and Boston college football is more fun when Boston College is a threat.
It is.
The Doug Flutie days of the late '80s, the mid to late '80s.
And
College.
like I said, I feel bad for them, especially the quarterback Lonergan. He went to Boston College because he's like, oh, I'm not going to play at Bama, so let me go somewhere I'm going to play. And
Right.
he
And I don't.
has not gotten a fair chance to be the starting quarterback because every time he makes a mistake, O'Brien is snap of a finger, yanks him out of the game, puts in Grayson James, who, quite frankly, should not be allowed to be on the field at all. He cannot throw. He is horrible at running. And group of five, I think he was at Georgia State or FIU. FIU
Mm,
fans can back me up. Grayson James is not good. Hence why he's the second string quarterback at Boston College, and he's not well, and he gets very little playing time due to the fact that I think Bill O'Brien. I think they're waiting until the end of the season to,
yeah.
quite frankly, to give him his walking papers. It's like go look for a job somewhere else.
Well, the absolute meltdown he had when that on one play
Oh
he
yeah,
fell behind.
mm-hmm. When his guy got tackled out of bounds and there was no
Oh,
flag.
that was a different play than the one I was thinking of because there was
Which one are
one
you
where
thinking of?
who did they play last week? Can I think of it?
Oh, they played. Was it? It wasn't Miami.
It was a white team. I don't remember, but the
Cal.
was it Cal? It might have been Cal. Sounds right. But anyway, whoever it was, their quarterback threw the ball and
Oh,
uh,
I know what play you're talking about. Where they got called for intentional grounding.
no, the where O'Brien thought it was an illegal forward pass,
Oh yes, yes, yes.
and he was clearly a foot and a half behind the line of scrimmage, or yeah, behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, they were playing. I think no, they weren't playing Virginia. They were playing. Yeah, I know what play you're talking about. Yeah, your whole body for it to be an illegal forward pass. Your entire and obviously Bill O'Brien needs to go back over and look at that rule again.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Your
entire
entire body.
body has to be in front of the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
If any part of your body is behind the line of scrimmage,
It's
it's
still a legal pass.
yes. And he needs to be fired. And there's a few other coaches that need to be gone. And Mike Norvell's one. Quite
And
frankly, I don't know how Norvell's made it this far. Florida State's
at,
another team that's just they've been atrocious the last few weeks.
at Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they played was it was Clemson the week before this
Right.
past week. And whoever won that game was bowl eligible. Whoop-de-doo, you get to go to a bowl game. Yay, Clemson. You might have just saved Dabo from getting severance papers at the end of the year. Because I've been hearing that from Clemson fans that they're done with Dabo. Like that marriage has gone stale and they want somebody new.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, careful what you wish for. You might just end up
Getting it.
getting it.
Yup.
And Dabo goes somewhere else and wins another national championship.
Yeah. I mean,
Because people are saying, oh, Dabo leaves Clemson. He's not going to be looked at as the coach that didn't make the playoff this year. He's going to be looked at as a coach that won 2 national championships at Clemson, that had
made
all
a
these
third.
NFL players. And
It
I
was a
can name you about 10 to 15 schools that would fire their coach in an instant and
in a
hire Dabo.
heartbeat.
South
Especially
Carolina would be one.
both the
Even though
Carolina
I
teams.
don't think Dabo would take that job because that's Clemson's
Well, if he gets
Biggest
fired at Clemson, nothing better than going to your opponent's school and getting a chance to beat him every year.
problem. Well, do you think at that
But
point South Carolina would say, Shane Beamer, here's your walking papers. Go find a job. I think
well,
if
after
Shane Beamer
Saturday's
got,
debacle,
that was just, and that's going to lead us right into that. That was, how do you blow a 30-3 lead?
I don't know. Ask South Carolina.
As South Carolina fans, because
Dude, I
all
watched.
week, I think all of us heard all week was, oh, South Carolina is going to go into Texas A&M and College Station and whoop South Carolina and whoop Texas A&M. Well, for the first half they did, and then
Yeah,
they
so Taylor.
they got the magic pixie dust and
Well, they
didn't
stopped
score the
making
entire
mistakes.
second half.
Well, they stopped making mistakes.
And
Hey,
I all I heard from South Carolina fans after the game was, "Oh, the refs favored Texas A&M." Stop
you
it!
had a 30 to
You
3
blew the
lead.
game. Yes, you had a 30-3 lead.
So
There's
yeah,
no way you can blame that on blame it on coaching if you want
well,
to blame it on something.
I remember this was years ago. I can't remember Plexico Burris, and I can't remember if he was playing for the Giants or who he was playing for, Pittsburgh at the time. But they had a big lead like early in the fourth quarter, and they had a 3 or 4 score lead early in the fourth quarter, and they punted, and the other team scored real quick, and then they got the ball back and threw an interception, and the other team scored, and quickly went from a 4-score game to a 2-score game, they might have, and then they went. I think it was they went 3-and-out real quick, and the other team had the ball back with like 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Plexico is like, I was sitting on the sideline thinking, we can't win this game by punting. And I think a lot of teams, you look at when you see a big blown lead like that, it's 1 or 2 plays here or there. It's not picking up a first down. It's on third and 3, getting stopped for a 2-yard gain and having to punt deep in your own territory, giving the other team the ball back. It's the other team not making the mistakes that they were making, missing the open guy, drop passes, poor play calling, poor special teams play. The
Yeah,
hidden yardage in the kick return game, where the punt returner was letting that ball hit, and they were losing 10, 15, 20 yards of field position on a punt. Now he's coming
the
up and
thing,
he's making the fair catch, and they're getting the ball at the 25 instead of their own 15.
yeah, or on punts when the punt returner does the little hand motion to tell everybody to stay away, and there's one guy that sees the hand motion, but he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Once that ball touches somebody on the return team,
It's a live ball.
yeah." Why
And
do you
those
think
little
these punt returners? Why do they say Peter, Peter? That means stay away from the ball. Either let it roll out of bounds or let it. If the punter got too much leg under it, which nowadays that's kind of rare because these punters come from
Australia.
Australia. Yeah, and that's all they know how to do with us in Australia. Australian rules football. But
Yeah,
no, yeah, but South Carolina fans, you can't blame that on officiating.
no.
Now there is a bone I have to pick, and we love
Okay.
our law enforcement, but I don't know if you saw when I think it was Nick Harbor that caught that long touchdown, and
Right.
he ran into the end zone, ran out of the back of the end zone, and it looked like he hurt his hamstring, and he was coming
Right.
back out of the tunnel with a teammate, and that state whatever it was, cop or police
Trooper.
officer, state
State
trooper ran
trooper.
into him on
Yeah,
purpose.
and it's like
And good on Texas A&M. They relieve that guy. And again, we love our law enforcement, but there's no reason
Right.
to
Interject yourself.
intentionally bump into a football player that's coming back onto the playing surface.
Yeah,
And
he injected himself into
good
the.
on them for relieving him of his game day duties of being a police officer on the field at Kyle Field.
Yeah, in the moment, not waiting.
Not waiting until the game is over.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to come up
And
with.
the
Yeah,
other thing with South Carolina fans is they're trying to say, "Oh, Kyle Field's so overrated."
I mean,
I love the 12th man, and I've never been to an A&M game.
I go to an. If somebody gave me a ticket, I'd go
I'd go just to see
just
Midnight
for the
Yell.
experience. Yeah, just for the experience. It's,
And
I
it's
don't.
like, okay, so you think Williams Bryce is better when y'all do Sandstorm?
I don't
I'd
know. I think
rather
that
go to an A&M game than South Carolina. I'm
I think
sorry.
I think all stadiums are pretty cool, and
I do love the traditions at some of the stadiums, like
yeah, I
A&M,
think
the 12th man,
yeah.
Auburn. I don't know if I could buy into the thing they do with the bald, the eagle.
Oh, that's so cool.
It
Yeah.
is, but it would take a while to get
I think
behind.
any.
Oregon, you know what? I used to hate on Oregon's tradition, but the last few times I've watched it, I've kind of started to get behind it. The whole where they had the whole stadium do, and I think it's before the fourth quarter, and they play a song. I think it's shout, and they have the whole stadium like clap, and then the duck is
Yeah,
down on the field. That I need to see in person.
jump
Because I've
around at
been told,
Wisconsin.
yes, jump around at Wisconsin. Enter Sandman is good. I I wanted to go see Neyland, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and
Mm,
see Dark Mode for Tennessee, but tickets were, and I think I told
outrageous.
$600 per just to six
Oh,
hundred dollars
Jesus.
for a reasonable ticket, and nosebleed 500.
Yeah, I was looking at concert tickets for a show next summer. For 2 tickets, almost $700. God damn.
What? Not to get off topic, but what concert?
My Chemical Romance. They're gonna be in Nashville next summer.
Yeah, but it was ridiculous. And then, of course, they played New Mexico. Tennessee played New Mexico State last week, and tickets were under $100.
Yeah, of course.
And this
Well,
week they play the Gators, which we'll get into game picks in a little bit, but we have
sure.
more topics to. Next,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into college football wish list
Okay.
teams, and we're gonna say what they need in the offseason. Could you pull up the list of Big 10 and Big 12 teams? Because that's where we're gonna start first. And then next week when Brad's back, we're gonna do SEC and ACC.
Okay.
Well, first let's start with Michigan from the Big 10.
Okay.
And since you're the Michigan
Flappy here in the resident Michigan Flappy.
yes, what is something on your wish list for Michigan to get this offseason?
Special teams coordinator and offensive line. I want.
I'm surprised you didn't say wide receiver.
I like Nick Marsh. I think he's gonna be. I think he can be a real good one.
You
But
mean
they need to give. They need to give Bryce. They need to give Bryce time to throw the ball, read the field. I'm not in love with the offensive coordinator. I think he's a goof. I don't like his play calling. Sometimes I think he's too exotic. I think
You
he
know what?
tries too
As an
hard.
Ohio State fan, I actually agree with you, but I think it's outrageous that there's people out there trying to compare Andrew Marsh to Jeremiah Smith.
I think he can be right there. I think with the right coaching and play calling. I don't like the play calling because they throw to the sideline too much. There's not enough room
Well,
along the sideline for him to adjust and make the catch.
yeah,
They,
and
they
you
need to
know
bring
what?
that.
The other thing I've heard is people they're getting tired of Sharon Moore, how he has this infatuation with putting Samaj Morgan on the field every single
Yeah, well,
snap, even though Samaj Morgan can't catch, doesn't know the route tree.
he's been replaced as kick returner going forward. They put Marsh in. Marsh is taking over kick returning duties going forward.
Could you see I'm not gonna say logical, but could you see a possibility where Samaj Morgan goes into the portal?
Yeah, yeah, I can see him walking away. I think
Because
his
I saw, and we'll get back to the Big Ten in a second.
sure.
Now we're
Go
going to
ahead.
go to Arizona State, and
Arizona
I
State.
just heard that, I wanted to say Sam Levitt is apparently done at Arizona State, and he's still got one more year of,
Eligibility.
and he's going to enter the portal.
Okay.
If we had to make, and I know there's still a little bit of season left, but if we had to
Yeah,
make a bold prediction, where does he end up? I'll let you have first.
he's the quarterback, right?
He was the quarterback at Arizona State that led him to the playoff with Scotabo and
Okay.
Jordan Tyson.
Bold. In the first place that came to my mind was Florida.
So are you telling me what I think you're telling me? Does this mean that DJ Lagway is going to enter the portal and go somewhere else?
Is he? What year is he?
Sophomore.
He's a sophomore, so he would be draft eligible, right? Or is it?
Next
No,
year.
no,
Next year.
next year.
He would be in the same draft class as
Well,
Arch
okay, okay,
if Arch decides to come out next year, because we know the Mannings,
yeah.
they don't come
Well,
out early.
well. Do you see? Who would you rather have, Lagway or Levin?
If I'm Florida, I'd take Levitt in a heartbeat. Don't get me
And
wrong.
and if
I
he's
like
there for the
Lagway,
picking,
but I just think he needs to be put with a coach that
you can say that
is
about.
a QB guru, and I don't think Billy Napier was quite the QB guru. So I'm going to say Sam Levitt.
Okay,
My bold prediction is he goes to the Big Ten and he
Penn
goes to
State.
Illinois
Ooh, that's interesting.
because Penn
Is
State has their quarterback, Grunkemeyer.
Dunkelmeyer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't been sold on a Penn State quarterback in 40 years, so I'm not even 40.
well, and we really haven't seen a full season. I think he's a freshman, and he was supposed to
Okay.
sit behind Aller the whole year, and then Aller gets hurt, and they throw the kid in. He's looked. I'm not going to say good, but he's looked at least.
Competitive?
Yes, he's kept Penn State. Penn State would have beat Indiana if it wasn't for Fernando Mendoza
What a
making
game.
that crazy throw at the end of the game.
What a catch.
And I as an Ohio State fan, I want to say Sands going to be the Heisman, but I think Fernando Mendoza's got it all. But
All but
as
locked up.
long as the last 3 games, because I'm including the Big Ten championship game,
Right.
as long as he doesn't, well, the last 2, because if they play Ohio State,
It's gonna be a hell of a ball
he's
game.
gonna have it is, but I think that defense is gonna give him fits.
Well, again, talk about a second half game though. just like Iowa or just like Illinois, not Illinois. Jesus Christ, listen to me. Texas A&M and South Florida, South Carolina.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but because they have Purdue this week, and I
Right?
think they have
Is
Michigan
it
State
Illinois?
next week because
Right.
Michigan has. Well, and we can. I want to briefly. What is your opinion on? I know you beat Northwestern,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a field goal, but 5 turnovers to beat a team that. Don't get me wrong, Northwestern has been a surprise this year,
Yeah. No, I think
but
that sums it up. 5 turnovers and you still beat a team. I that's Northwestern football. As they
as an
they
Ohio
play
State
well enough
fan,
to win and
I,
find a
I
way to
I am
lose.
I am so glad we don't play Northwestern this year.
Yeah.
Even though I think
Again,
we
I think
steamroll
it's
them,
been
we get Rutgers this week,
right.
and it honestly, Rutgers fans, I would not show up.
Right.
It's in Columbus. I think it's going to be over by halftime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be a mollywhopping to get.
Well, I
And people
think
are like, oh, and I need to go on a rant for a second. All those people out there that are saying, oh, Ohio State needs to rest Jeremiah Smith, rest Carnell Tate for the Rutgers game and Michigan, ain't going to happen for Michigan.
no, that will not
They're
happen.
resting them this week because Rutgers is not very. I don't want to
Competitive.
say Rutgers isn't good. It's just I don't think it's going to be a competitive game against Rutgers.
Rutgers is not a very competitive team.
They're as
Rutgers,
Brad likes to say, they're a hard candy.
yeah.
So and Lewis, if you're watching, sorry.
The thing about Rutgers is that when they play the teams that they should be playing, the Pitts, the that those old Big East teams that they should actually be playing against, the Pitts, the
Syracuse.
UConn, the of the world,
Well,
they're very
see,
competitive against.
if you asked me that 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said, yeah, Rutgers would beat UConn. But UConn now, sneakily, I think, yes, they're a basketball school, but there's a semblance to them that they're starting to turn into both football and basketball.
They're
This
an
last,
okay football school, but I still think Rutgers. But I think it would be a great game though. They, that would be a great game between Rutgers and UConn. And I think both teams would play.
I think UConn would just blow them out.
I don't see it. I just
UConn, to
don't see it.
me, and Jim Moore, I think Jim Moore is going to get looked at for head coaching jobs. And, we talked all this crap about Sam Houston. I think they won a game a couple of weeks ago.
I'm sorry to
Yay.
hear that.
I am too, because
I love
one of my
I
videos
love
I
a
made
defeated team.
a winless team.
Yeah.
And I have to say something. One of my videos I did 2 weeks ago, I said, I made a bet, not a bet, but I made a deal. I said, if Sam Houston wins a game this year, I will go to a Sam Houston football game in 2027.
Okay.
And double check, but I'm pretty sure they did. So looks like I'll be booking a trip to, I think they're in Houston somewhere,
Yeah.
Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on Saturday Night Lights. I will be booking a trip to Sam Houston, Texas in 2027 to go see a Sam Houston game. Yay, me. Time to torture myself with CUSA football.
Man, they didn't even show
Ugh.
the prisoners like Guantanamo CUSA football.
Because people say, oh, it's worse than watching Maction.
Maction is great.
Watching it is. I love watching some Maction football.
Give me Toledo and a Miami or Ohio any day of the week.
With Maction football, you never know what you're going to get every week.
Yeah.
It's a total coin flip.
There was one. It was Toledo, and I forget who it was. And this was many years ago now. But it was like 21-21 halfway through the first quarter. It's like, you better lock in. And then the final ended up being like 43-41. It was a great
Yeah.
game. It's an
Well, and
absolute
then
great.
people want to.
Like, if
Here's
you.
my gripe though with college football fans. There's college football fans that
I'm
don't
just.
enjoy high scoring games.
They're just college.
They,
They're fans of college football. They just apparently don't like football because you'll have a.
you know what I call those people? I call those people college football sickos because they
Like,
like the
I
games
would.
that are 10-3, 7
7
nothing.
2 Like, go on Iowa and leave me alone. Give me
Go watch
43-41 every day of the
baseball.
week and twice on Sunday.
Exactly. Go outside and
I
touch
don't.
grass or go eat expired eggs and
I
let
don't
us
get it
watch
because
our college football and love these 41, 40 games, 50, or what was it? LSU and A&M when they went to 7 overtimes?
so it's something like 78-76.
Yeah. Give me that every day of the week.
Yeah, I don't. I
Stay up
don't get why
past
people.
midnight.
I don't get how people would want to sit there and watch 26 punts and then 7-3 Iowa State game. Go away. That's not fun. That's not entertaining.
Well,
That's
that's when
terrible.
Iowa had no offense.
Yeah, I know exactly. When
Now
did
they
Iowa
have,
have an
you know
offense?
what?
Remind me.
This year, when they had a comparable quarterback in Mark Gronowski.
Mm.
Yes, I said comparable, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what Mark Gronowski is.
No, no, I don't get how people are like don't like a high scoring football game. It's like, well, but I remember not to sidetrack, but to sidetrack, but I remember people complaining about low scoring games 20 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Oh, but
um
especially in basketball. Basketball was boring because nobody could score. And the final score would be 43-50. And it was all a defensive struggle. And kind of the same thing in football, and they wanted to open things up. Yeah, okay. We can talk more about football. They wanted to open things up.
mhm.
So the referees were told to enforce the grabbing, the holding, all the little
the
things that people bitch
the
about now.
personal foul tripping, which I never knew was a penalty.
Mm-hmm. If you
I didn't
intentionally
know
start,
it was a foul to trip somebody in football.
yeah, it's been a foul. You can't intentionally trip
Well,
somebody.
the thing is, it's
Leg
never
whipping,
really called.
right? But I'm not talking about like an obscure. I'm talking about the holding, the pass interference, the um um
Roughing the
defensive
passer.
fouls that are getting called more that 20
Yeah,
years ago weren't being as enforced as much as they are now. And now everybody's going, well, listen, you can't play defense. Yeah, well, 20 years ago, you bitched because they did play defense. And you can hold, and you can clutch, and you could grab it. The illegal contact, the holding, the pass interference, all the
yeah.
stuff that gets called now
Or
that wasn't being called 20 years
look at
ago.
offensively. Now you can't block below the waist. You
Right.
can't illegal blindside block
The
anymore.
crackback block.
Can't crackback block college or pros. But back to college, obviously.
Right.
So we're gonna get back to the wish list now.
Okay.
Penn State. What is
Well,
and we can both do this for Penn State. I'll go first.
yeah, you
My
go
two
ahead.
things for Penn State: find a head coach that knows. And I'm not saying Franklin didn't know how to recruit, but he only knew how to recruit the DMV and Pennsylvania. Find
Yeah.
somebody that knows how to recruit the DMV, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. But the problem is you get into Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, you're getting into, especially Tennessee, you're getting into SEC country when you get into trying to recruit Tennessee. Because
Yeah.
you got to deal
Tennessee,
with
Kentucky.
Kentucky, Ole
Well,
Miss, Alabama. And
The
then the
thing
second thing for Penn State is I like their offensive line, but they need to
that's
get an offensive line coach that can teach physicality and nastiness with their
mm,
with offensive line, because I
within the
feel
bounds
like
of
that's why they're getting. If you've watched any, and you probably have Penn State games this year, and you notice
a
their
couple,
offensive
yeah.
line is just getting mauled right off the snap. Like they can't block anybody. They're getting pushed back into the quarterback, and you wonder why. And of course, we never wish injury upon anybody, but I
No.
think that's half the reason that's one of the reasons Drew Aller ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
It's because they had it. He always had to dump it off to the running back, whether it be at Patron Allen or Singleton,
yeah,
and he couldn't. He didn't have time to throw deep to his receivers. And if he did, it
right.
was maybe a 5 yard, 10 yard check down, not check down, but like short comeback route.
Intermediate.
Yeah, intermediate. It was never like they had when
For
they had
stretching.
Chris Godwin
Well,
or
and if he
Jamal.
did have time to try and stretch the field, they couldn't catch.
Yeah,
So I
or
mean,
when they had Tyler Warren last year, which Tyler Warren he did everything. As an Ohio State fan, he was one guy on Penn State I could not stand. Because it just felt like every time they had the ball last year and they play when they were playing Ohio State, you knew it was going to Tyler Warren.
right.
There,
And
there
there's
was
just nothing you can do to
nobody
stop
else.
it.
It was either Tyler Warren, QB run, or one of the running backs was getting the ball. And yeah, we still beat Penn State, but and I don't need to be reminded of the year that Penn State blocked the field goal and ended up going down and getting a touchdown to beat us.
Mm,
Every time I watch videos on YouTube,
yeah.
that's one of the and they show plays from the decade from college football. That's one of the first
Right.
plays that comes up. That one, and then when they played at Purdue and Iowa and lost, especially the Purdue game, which I'm happy we beat Purdue this year, and it wasn't even close.
I didn't think it was going to be close.
No. But anyway, what are your two wish list items for Penn State?
You hit them both. I'll give you.
A third one?
Yeah, I'll give you two different ones. I'll go a ball hawking free safety, someone that can play center field, take away the middle on defense, and a a legitimate number one running back.
Do you have an issue with the two running backs they have right now, Singleton and Allen?
They're both kind of just
It's same
eh.
thing. It's like 1A, 1B. One game, Nick Singleton's gonna beat you for like 90 yards or 100, and then the next game it's Katron Allen that goes for maybe 2 touchdowns. They need
A bell cow.
yes. I mean, look at Ohio State. We rotate in, and I know that as a Michigan fan, that probably doesn't scare you that we rotate in 2 or 3 running backs.
I, I just think you have to have a number one guy. You know, it's kind of the same way if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. If you have two running backs, you have none.
Yeah.
Because if you're running back by committee just doesn't work.
No.
Because
It only works in the NFL if you have the right coaching staff.
You need that one guy who you know is going to get the ball on third down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. I mean, if you have two guys that are both kind of where you're like, well, it could be this guy or it could be that guy, you don't have a number one guy. And if you don't have a number one guy, if you don't have a guy that, hey, we're in this situation, it's 3rd and 6 from our own 44, we're going for it on 4th down, so we're just going to turn it around and hand it off and see what we can get. And it's well, it could be this guy, it could be that guy. Then do you really have a guy? And so, you know, it's one thing when you're like in Ohio State, who's got 3 guys that could all be a number one guy.
Yeah.
When you have, you know,
and the thing is, I think we're starting to figure out who our number one running back is. It's it looks like it's going to be Lamar Bo Jackson. Which,
Mm,
first of all, what a name.
right.
But Bo is his nickname. His actual name is Lamar Jackson.
What can you throw to?
Yeah, I mean, you could go by Bo, you could go by Lamar. He's named after two great college football players. Lamar was a great quarterback at Louisville, and Bo Jackson was a great running back in college and in the
In
NFL.
Auburn.
Yeah. And I believe he's got his number retired by Auburn,
I believe so.
which he
Okay.
deserves. Cam Newton does not deserve to have his number retired by Auburn. And I go back and forth with Auburn fans about it all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're just a casual SEC hater," and I'm like, "No, I have factual evidence to back it up." The only reason, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will get back to the wish list, but I need to get this off my chest. The only reason Cam Newton, and I don't know if Adam knows this, the only reason Cam Newton ended up at Auburn was because what happened at Florida? What did he
Mm-hmm.
steal that got him in trouble?
I can never remember which one it was.
Laptops.
Okay.
He stole laptops, got kicked out of Florida,
I had to go play Junto football
had to go play JUCO for a year, and then went to Auburn.
and won a
Just
title.
because he won a national championship, he gets the distinct honor of getting his jersey retired? No.
I don't know about all that. I think you can make mistakes and you turn your life around, and you.
Yes, but
I
his
one,
legacy wasn't at Auburn,
but it wasn't
though.
at Florida, and it certainly wasn't
It
in
was at
Junco. So
neither.
I
It
mean,
was
you know, he did the crime, he did the time, and I'm like, if it was a consistent pattern of thievery, then okay,
like,
obviously if he was
okay, let
still.
me give you an example. Eric Gilbert was a tight end at LSU. Got kicked off, got in trouble, got kicked off the team, transferred to Georgia, got kicked off the team, which I think we could both say that Georgia, don't send your kid there
Mm-mm.
because they end up in trouble no matter what. And Kirby Smart, don't don't get me wrong, he's a really good head coach, but he doesn't know how to discipline his players.
Mm.
He get in trouble, hit and run, or doing something stupid. Oh, here, you get a slap on the wrist. You don't get suspended. Look at Michigan and Ohio State. If you do something like that at Michigan and Ohio State, you're suspended like that.
Well,
Or you're kicked off the team, and this kid was a repeat offender. It wasn't just at LSU. It wasn't just at Georgia. Then he went to a group of 5 team. Same thing happened. Not only did he get in trouble for doing something, he also got in a fight with the coach.
yeah,
Got kicked
okay.
off
What's your
of that
point? I'm
team.
I I'm
My
not
point
sure where you're
is,
going.
what I'm what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to kind of compare it to like Cam Newton, where Cam Newton did learn. This kid
Yeah, okay.
obviously,
Yeah,
as you saw, this kid obviously
right.
didn't learn.
And I think that's one thing that for me is like, you know, these guys are all 18 to 23-year-olds who are, for a lot of them, this is their first time away from home. This is the first time with any kind of freedom, any kind of real responsibility. And, you know, now they have to cope with, everything. For like you and me when we were in school, we might have had a job, but our real job was getting an education.
Yeah,
And for these kids, there's so much other stuff they have going on outside of just getting an education. I think that and the fact that they have this is the first time for a lot of them where they don't have a parental structure where they're not coming home to mom and dad to that and so and it's like at the end of the day, is it really a football coach's job? I'm sorry, I fail to see how it's a football coach's job to make good men or whatever you want to say out of these kids. His job is to win football games at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And
no,
if your kid is a screw up and you want to blame, if you've got a kid that's a screw up, at some point the parents have to take some responsibility, and also the individual who's a screw up has to take some responsibility. You know,
well, to
and
wrap up
Kirby
this
Smart's
and get
job.
back to what we were talking about with the wish list, what
Sure,
about
because I
the
need to get
kid at
going here in a few
LSU
minutes.
that what about Kyron Lacey at LSU, who was
Mm,
accused of being part of a hit and run accident? Then it came out that he wasn't. His car was way out of the picture, and
well,
I feel bad for his family
sure, and again,
because
but
he didn't. And the last team we're gonna do for the wish list before we get to game picks
okay.
is UCLA, and I'll let you go first with this. What are your two wish things on your wish list for UCLA?
Um, uh, UCLA, they need about 130 or so odd meteorites to strike about 130 other cities in a continental United States. I think that's probably right up there on their wish list.
Well, I'm
Uh,
football wise.
I was talking football wise to wipe out their competition because they really need some help.
Yeah, they do, but I mean,
um, outside of a apocalypse outside of an apocalyptic event, then I think you'd say this about
quarterback.
all 50 all 130 some odd teams in college football is better offensive line play and a quarterback. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean,
Would you
I think that
throw
I would like to
in
see another season with
Nico
Nico Malawala be 42 Sydney, Australia. Um
Nico Nico Imiava Liava?
yeah, him. Um
I think if he doesn't enter the portal, he's gonna stay at UCLA. My two things for UCLA is one, they need to find a head coach that can convince Nico to stay another year and not go somewhere else. And they need to upgrade offensive line, defensive line, and they when they get a coach, he needs to get somebody on staff that can teach the offense and defensive line to be physical and nasty. Not do a Dion and have all these former NFL coaches be on your staff. Because look how that's working for Dion.
yeah, one thing real quick before we go to the picks, because I do need to get out of here pretty quick. Um I got another event that I need to get to at 7. So, do you over under 60% Dion gets fired at the end of the year?
Oh, I didn't. You put me on the spot. Um, I think they might give him one more year, but the problem
Okay,
with Dion is he plays favorite too much, and I think he's in danger of losing Julian Lewis to the portal.
but
Because
very well.
in my opinion, Julian Lewis should have been starting the entire season
Agreed.
because we know what Caden Salter's worth. Obviously, he got booted out of Liberty because he was not a very good starting quarterback there.
And if you lose
And
your starting job at Liberty,
yeah, you have. I'm not going to say issues. You probably should stop playing football. And then Ryan Staub, obviously, he's not good enough to be a starter because if he
yeah,
was, he would have been starting.
if you can't hang at Liberty, mm. All right, let's run through the picks real quick.
Yeah, we are going to get to that right now. To
All right.
do this. Let me do this quick. Do those game picks right now. Share screen.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and we're only doing the Saturday game. So Oklahoma State. Am I missing? I get these all mixed up. Oklahoma State and UCF. Spread is 14.5 in favor of UCF. Over under. Total is 48.5. Who I will let you pick first. It's at UCF.
I was leaning UCF anyway.
I was too. Give me UCF. Now, the hard candy.
Mhm.
Rutgers and Ohio State.
Then
31.5 is the spread in favor of Ohio State. Total is 55.5. Obviously, I think we're both going to take the Buckeyes.
yeah, but that's a lot to get to. I think Rutgers can cover that.
Problem is Ohio State going to give them anything in the second half?
Yeah. I think if when Ohio State goes to the second, third stringers,
Samford and Texas A&M.
no line. Okay.
Give me the Aggies at home. And a
Oh,
laugher.
Stanford for the upstart. No. A&M.
It's going to be another massacre, just like it was last week. Well,
of course.
Another massacre in the SEC in terms of a SEC team playing a cupcake game. And I would have laughed last week. Kentucky played undefeated Tennessee Tech. It was only up 21-7 at half.
Wow. Okay.
Missouri, Oklahoma.
I'm going to take Missouri in an upset.
I'm also going to take Missouri. Miami and Virginia Tech. Miami's a 17.5 point favorite. Total is 48.5.
Miami.
Much as it pains me to say, maybe going into next year, I'll think about Virginia Tech again, but give me Miami. Now, we pick Miami.
Yeah, I know.
Watch Virginia Tech for just no reason at all. Watch them win.
Win by double digits.
SMU, Louisville. SMU is a 2.5 point favorite. 53.5 is the total.
I'm taking him at SMU.
I am too. Minnesota, Northwestern.
I'm taking Northwestern.
I'm taking Northwestern at home and Wrigley. Delaware and surprising 7-3 Wake Forest. 17.5 point favorite is Wake. 52.5 is total.
I'd love to take Delaware, but I can't, so Wake Forest.
Give me the Deeks. Kansas and Iowa State. Iowa State.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, they pull up a big upset and go bowling.
Tulsa and Army.
Army. Ugly game.
Give me Army.
The ugly game, though.
Oh, here's another ugly game that's going to be over by halftime.
It'll be over by the
Charlotte
third.
and Georgia.
It'll be over by 4 minutes of the fourth in the first quarter. Give me Georgia.
Give me Georgia by give me the Dogs by 1 billion.
And easy.
Washington State, James Madison.
J-Mad.
J-Mad. And I think they're going to be ranked in the new playoff rankings.
They very well could be.
Because USF lost. Baylor, Arizona. Now, here's a case of a team that shouldn't be 7-3, but somehow
it's 5-5.
Miraculously, they are. Give me Arizona.
Yeah. Yep.
Ugh. Georgia Southern and Old Dominion.
Old Dominion Freight Line.
Give me Old Dominion. I am not taking Georgia Southern. Eastern. I'm laughing for a reason.
Oh, God, you gotta be.
Love to see Eastern Illinois As much as I'd love to see Eastern Illinois beat Bama, it ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. No, no, no. Ain't gonna happen.
Give me Alabama and a laugher.
Yeah.
Mercer and Auburn.
Auburn.
Give me
Give
Auburn.
me the side.
Missouri State, Kennesaw State. Two teams that are both bowl eligible. Who gets their 8th win?
Kennesaw State.
Give me Kennesaw because it's not a state.
We looked it up.
Nevada and oh god. Ugh. Ugh. Talk about boring. Wyoming and Nevada. Like,
Wyoming and Nevada. I'm gonna take
wake
Wyoming.
me up when this game's over. Give me
Right.
Wyoming. Hey, it's Mexican. Toledo and Ball State.
Toledo.
Toledo by at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Toledo by 50.
Marshall and App State.
App State.
Happy. South Florida and UAB. South
South
Florida
Florida.
should win this. And I hope
They
they
should win
do.
going away.
This game should be over by half. Give me South
Easy.
Florida. And give me South Florida to cover the 21.5 also.
Agreed.
UConn and FAU.
UConn. UConn.
That is, I'm taking UConn, but can we please? What is it with these people that put out the spreads? They're disrespecting UConn. 7.5. Florida
I don't know,
Atlantic's
brother.
not that good. Oh, hey, we just talked about Liberty a minute ago, and here they are again. Liberty and Law Tech. Give me Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I like Law Tech. Liberty is not the same Liberty that they were like 3 or 4 years ago when they had that one kid whose name escapes me.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. So when they had Caden Salter, and he was actually halfway decent.
There we go. I'm back.
I'm also taking Louisiana Tech. Okay, so we were wrong. Sam Houston has 2 wins.
Oh, holy crap.
Huh. So I guess I am. Oh boy. Again, yay me. I get to go see a Sam Houston game in 2027. Yay. Torture.
Try not to kill
Middle
yourself.
Tennessee and no. We're not doing that, but it's going to be torture. Because I guarantee you there's not going to be a lot of points scored. Sam Houston and Middle Tennessee. A combined 3 wins between these two teams.
Holy crap.
And a combined 17 losses.
3 wins, 17 losses, and no ties.
Correct. You know what? Give me Middle Tennessee.
I think it's gonna be 9 overtime. They're just gonna get bored and call it a game. Nothing after 9 overtimes and just call it a game. Tie. No, I think Middle Tennessee barely gets the win.
New Mexico State and UTEP.
Mexico
UTEP,
State and UTEP could be a fun one.
even though it's a combined 5 wins and 15 losses. But
Yeah, but
I'm going to say this. UTEP, I would advise you stay in the locker room. New Mexico State is not in a happy mood.
Yeah.
They just got thumped by A&M. It took a paycheck for it. And they're going to want to come out and get their 4th win of the year.
Yeah.
And so UTEP fans, I wouldn't show up. UTEP students, I wouldn't show up either unless you want to end up like Oklahoma State where they have their students have their own little thing they do where they take off their shirts.
Right.
And it's ridiculous, but it's hilarious. Give me
A
New
lot of
Mexico
fun.
State.
Yeah, New Mexico State.
Oregon, USC.
Ooh.
The
Where is it?
Duckies and the Trojans at Autzen. Give me Oregon. At home. Senior day.
Eugene. What's the line?
10.5 in favor of Oregon.
Oregon.
Syracuse, Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Give me
What's the
Syracuse.
line?
Wait, no. Give me Notre Dame minus 35.5.
Holy jumping. Okay, Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame by at least 40.
Yeah.
Sorry, Syracuse.
I wanted to take Syracuse, but yeah.
Texas and Arkansas.
Gonna be a fun one. Texas though. That's gonna be that's a game that's got a whole lot of nastiness
I'm
waiting
gonna
to
get
happen.
laughed at for this, but have a stupidly suspicious feeling that Texas is looking ahead to next week. So, with that being said, sorry, Texas fans, horns down. Give me Arkansas.
I think Texas is gonna be focused up after losing to getting soundly thumped by Georgia. I think Texas all day, every day.
I would agree to
Okay.
an extent, but Kentucky, Vanderbilt, I think this one's easy.
Bandy.
Vandy, there's no way Kentucky wins.
Maybe in basketball, but not football.
Yeah. Michigan State, Iowa.
Iowa.
Ooh.
Gonna laugh her.
Iowa.
It'll be like 24-7. It'll be ugly Iowa football, but they'll win handily.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Here's a good basketball game. Duke and North Carolina.
I'm gonna take Duke. I'm gonna take Duke. Take the Blue Devil.
Pains me to do this. I'm going to also take Duke, even though it seems like Chapel Bill's starting to figure it out.
He's. I think if he gets another year, they could get it. They could get it turned around and be a threat. But for this year, for this week, I like Duke.
Florida International and Jacksonville State.
Jack State.
Jack State. Sorry, FIU. Southern Miss and Mr. Tudor's Biscuits himself, Charles Huff, against South Alabama.
Ooh, it's always a fun one. South Alabama, though.
Give me Southern Miss. Even though, again, here's another line that makes no sense. -1.5. What did
Southern
Southern Miss do to deserve that?
Southern Miss, South Alabama from Mobile and Hattiesburg, about an hour away. 2 hours over the I-10.
Yep. 3 more games that we're picking, and then we're going to wrap it up. So,
Okay,
East
cool.
Carolina and UTSA.
UTSA.
You know what? Give me the Pirates. Arr, matey.
You just wanted to say R.
Maybe I did. Tulane and Temple.
Tulane and Temple.
Temple's been a surprise this year.
Yeah, I know. But it's a
But
surprise
I'm
when
also going to take. I'm going to take Tulane, but I think it's going to be close.
it's also a surprise when Tulane goes the right direction. So
Yes. And then, oh wait, we have to pick Michigan.
Michigan Bear. Is it?
Well, we're
It's up in
picking
cost.
K State and Utah first. Utah's
Okay.
17.5 point favorite.
K State, Utah. Give me the Utes.
Give me the Utes at home. And then Michigan, Maryland to wrap it up.
Okay. What's the line? Should be Michigan +2 or -2.
-13.5.
Really? Wow. Okay, they're
But
thinking Michigan.
I'm going to say this before we pick. I was watching this
Okay.
guy on TikTok that's a diehard Michigan fan. and he was saying he's expecting it to be really close.
I really
Maybe a touchdown or less.
well, if they play like
Because
they did
he
against,
doesn't think Michigan is capable of blowing out Maryland.
if they play like they did against Northwestern, it's another field goal game. I mean, you cannot get away with 5 turnovers 2 weeks in a row. So I see it's what I've been saying all year about Michigan is you just got to get it cleaned up. If they get it cleaned up, they'll be fine. Michigan, but I think Maryland covers. And like 24-18, 24-21. They just can't make the mistake. Can't have 5 freaking turnovers.
No. And I think Michigan covers too, and I think they win. But I think Maryland covers. Michigan wins by maybe 4 points.
Yeah. 21, 24-21, 28-24. Something like that. Especially if Justice Hayes and Jordan Marshall are both out this week.
Well, let me do the outro and then.
All right. Yeah, I gotta get going myself. So
The best duo in college football podcasting, Alec and Adam, for tonight. Signing off under the lights. We will see everybody. Brad will be back next Tuesday. And Adam you're more than welcome to come on next Tuesday if you want. Because it's going to be rivalry week, so we're going to be picking all the rivalry games. But until next time, we will see everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are, whether you're in America or in Australia. If you're in Australia, g'day, mate.
hello, friend. Telling you how the future is.
Yes.
Yeah, I won't.